Good afternoon. I want to thank everybody for joining our webinar today. This is the first in our series of promotional product disruptive software solutions by WebJaguar. Our seminar today is going to be on how to sell decorated apparel online, bringing together a two-vendor application into a single invoice. The two-vendor application is bringing in the blank products from SAMR or Alpha or SNS and combining that with the decorator of choice, whether it be in-house in your own operation or down the street, allowing multiple decorators from an embroidery decorator versus a screen print decorator or an East Coast decorator versus a West Coast decorator. With our platform, you can choose as many decorators as you want, and our order process will be split between the blank provider and the decorator of choice. So let's get into this webinar. Again, this webinar, as I promised, will be 30 minutes or less. We value your time, and we just want to present to you just the simple solutions of how simple this is on our platform to actually have clients come in and create apparel products 24/7 without your assistance. So to start this off, let's take a look at this industry and all the major players in this industry and how they all do decorated apparel. By looking at the more popular or the more successful online resellers, we will see that there's a common platform or behavior throughout all these platforms that we wanted to bring into WebJaguar because they're successful at what they do. But once we brought in, how could we improve it now that we had a chance to improve it versus what they have? So here's the first one. Obviously, everybody recognizes 4imprint.com and how they do their products. I'm going to look at a women's polo throughout these comparisons. Step one is select your product colors and has a price table here. Then if you want to go forward, you hit, let's go click on a product, and we're going to customize our imprint. Oh, we did that, but it's not, there we go. Comes in and enter your quantities. I'll hit 5, and you'll see that now I go to the next step, which is the colors, and then add to cart. So it's a step order process. The variable that we want to address on this one is that these were pop-up windows. So how do I go back to step 1 or 2 or 3 if I'm moved forward into the next pop-up? So we'll address that in our demonstration. The next online reseller that's popular is like a Discount Mugs. Yes, they do sell other than mugs in their platform. And this is how they do their apparel. Again, they do a 1-step, 2-step, 3, and 4. And you will pick on what decoration method you want. In this case, they only provide the embroidery, blank, or a sample. They do an embroidery, and then they tell you, okay, you have a left chest or a right chest, how many colors, stitching, delivery date, and give us your credit card, and you're done. And we'll address that. The limitation of here's the total thread counts you can do, and it's 1 location or 2 locations. Another popular one is epromos.com. And in their situation, again, you can see that common 1, 2, 3 step process in this situation. And again, step 1 seems to be the common one on all of these is pick your product color first. 2 is enter your quantities and what's your decoration method. And you go into a customize, which then does another pop-up window as you saw on the site before this one, and again on 4imprint. Here it is on this one as well. You go from one page to another. How do you go back if you want to make any edits? Amsterdam Printing is another pop one. They just been bought by Vistaprint. Their system is very similar. Starts with the product, and then you have to hit the personalize and add to cart, and they take you through their step process. So as you see, all these different popular online resellers, they all follow a step order process. One way or another, how they address it, you can see you're being led not only to the trough, having the water provided to you, you're drinking, and then you're putting your credit card in for the transaction. This is branders.com. Even though it's owned by Discount Mugs, they did a different layout on theirs, but they don't label it 1, 2, 3, but you can still see these are all step order processes. You'll see it's very similar. One of the nice features on this one, as you saw also on 4imprint, they do a little mobile, I call it a GUI, a lot gets people excited about on their mobile devices how to set their inventory levels or price points. Next one is, these are more of the, looking at the industry large buying groups. This is Vernon Company and how they do theirs. Now, they don't have a step order process on the larger buying groups. You can see a big difference between the online resellers versus the buying groups. Vernon, this is actually ASI's platform. They're using ESP on their order processing. It's not a step order process. It's not true e-commerce. Geiger, they have their own proprietary system. And again, there's no step order process to this. It's just pretty much a catalog, put in your quantities and add to cart. HDS, this one is Facilis, which is another buying group. Now, Facilis does have a step order process. This is the brand new site for them. You see here, it's, they kind of lay it out here, configure products, step 1, 2, and 3. And finally, I'm going to show you ours. And this is our process. So what you'll see here is very similar. Here we put together a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-step order process. But with our process, everything's on one page. I can go from step 5 or 3 back to 1, back to 2, and never have to start over. That was very important to us, is to be able to do all that product configuration without having to go off the page, go to a design studio link like the others did. It's all at your fingertips of the user. It's what we call the UX experience, or user interface. So how we did it, like everybody else, step 1 is pick your colors. As you can see, I picked the red one. You can see that we have a very high zoom, and these are the type of things you want to look at on other websites, is all the nuances of the site for the client experience. We have multiple angle views as well in our system. So all that is applied with the, in this case, this is a SanMar product. Step 2 is where we bring in our magic. Now we're bringing in the decorator of your choice for this product. And you can have a like I said, a decorator for screen print and a different decorator for embroidery. Or you can have the same decorators. It could be in-house, it could be out-of-house. So in the screen print, you can see my little calculator, it's 000. It's because we haven't dictated how many colors yet. But if I clicked on the embroidery, you'll see the price chart changes down below. You'll see that the setup actually went to $75. This is what I configured my store to be $75 for less than 7,500 stitches. This could be $60, less than 5,000 stitches. It doesn't matter what your combination is. You choose what your setups are based on a stitch count within our system. But not only that, where everybody else locked you in at one stitch count, we open it up so you can choose up to 3 different sizes. So my medium was 10,000 stitches, and my $75 setup went to $125. Or I could do a large. Again, these are all configurable through our system. Not only does our system change with the stitch count as far as the setup, but it will also change the per 1,000 thread count, and that would change your pricing. When you go to a medium, you have to charge for an additional 2,500 stitches that are being done. So let's go back up here and show you the steps. So we picked embroidery, step 2. Step 3 is enter your quantities. And with our suppliers, like SanMar in this situation, we get a daily feed from SanMar that tells us what their inventory levels are. So you can see that in green. Here's the current inventory levels of SanMar. And this is scheduled to rotate every 24 hours in our system. Now, here's where the beauty happens. This is where we were able to change more features into our single page platform that the others cannot do or have not done yet. I can choose multiple colors for a uniform programs, let's say. And I could put 5 there, and I could put 6 there now. And I could keep adding additional colors into my system for my orders. Now, if I decide I don't want a color, remember I said earlier, I can go back and change things. So I can see I have 26, but I can click that little red X there and take that last color out, and I can do the calculation here. It's 9 plus 11, 20 plus 6, it's at 26 at 125. It will balance out whatever the last edit you've done on this thing. It's very simple. Not only do we do multiple colors, which is unique, we allow you to do the companion products if they're assigned. So in the situation like that we all familiar with the SanMar K500, I would have the men's version and a women's version that you can order at the same time, because not only do you do multiple colors when you do apparel, but you can do his and hers. And again, I could put more products into the order, and I can add more colors on the men's side. All that is built into our system on the apparel side of it. So now we've taken the blanks and we applied our own decoration fees on top of that. The next step is the true magic, and that is where you decide where you want to put the products we visually show that to the clients when they make their presentation. So that is pretty much a simple outline. So I'm going to show you going even further where we've gone, and this is going to be a beta version that we're showing you that is going live next month in July. But here is where it goes now from what you've just seen here. So I'm going to go and do a long men's sleeve shirt. And we're going to go through the same order process we just did on the previous page. So let me click on there, and it's going to pull up the step 5-step process. In this case, I've only done embroidery for my beta, so it's already got the setup of $75. So I'm going to pick my stone color shirt, and it's going to change out to the stone color shirt. I've got my quantities in here. I'm just going to put 5. I'm going to put a couple colors in here so you can just see how that looks in the system. 6. I'll do one more color in here just to have fun, just make it look like a rainbow, and we'll put 6 there. Now, this product does not have a companion product. This is a men's tall long sleeve. There is no women's tall long sleeve in SAMR, so it's just going to provide the men's version. So we're going to go to that step 4. And as I said before, step 4 is what location you want to do it at. We're going to leave it in left chest. You can see in this beta, I have it at 5,000 stitches for $75. So I'm going to move that up to a medium, which goes to 10,000 stitches. It's a 2 by 3 inch aspect. You saw that square got bigger, and my setup went to 125. Now, we're not going to go into any other design studios. We're still on the same page. All we're going to do is simple selections of where we're going to ask as a buyer. So I've got my left chest I selected. I chose my size, and I'm going to say, do I want to upload a logo, text, logo, and text? So let's just go with logo and text. Let's do it all. So in my text, I'm going to say safety 2017. And then I'm going to choose to put that in uppercase. And again, this is all configured on your platform, what fonts that your embroiderer will provide, and it will display that on here. And now we're asking, do you want that text to go above that logo or below the logo? It has to be put in its position. Now we offer this option because most of our clients will take a logo out of their library. Let's just say I'm with Show Oil. I'll put my Show Oil logo on there, and instead of having to create another art file with the text on it, I'll just say, hey, add this text to underneath my logo. We wanted to give that opportunity and that behavior to your clients. So I'm going to say that's going to be a cardinal color. Next, I choose my logo, and when I click on Add Image, we have multiple platforms you can pull a logo from. You can even put in clip art if you want to do and kind of replicate a custom ink platform or a Zazzle platform. So I'm just going to grab the logo from my computer. Here's my logo files on my computer. As you can see, I'm going to take the Top Gun, and it's a PNG file, so it's a bitmap raster art. I'm going to upload a PNG, and the system we have not only accepts the PNG, but it actually stitches it out because we had picked embroidery. Now, if I had picked the screen color, it'd be a screen color flat file, or if it was an engraving, it would be an engraved viewer here. But in the situation of embroidery, it actually does the stitch out. Not only that, but when you upload that artwork into our system, within minutes, I'm saying under 5 minutes, you will be able to download that file as a DST or EMB digitized file for production use. As you can see in our system, it provided a virtual sample with never going into a studio. We stayed on this page. All we did is upload a logo, and it shows up on the product. That logo's got 2 colors. I'm just going to quickly go into my color charts. These could be your standard colors on your embroidery machines. I can have multiple tabs on here. I've got PMS color tabs, but I can put a Madeira thread chart if I want to do on here. I'm just going to click on PMS colors and say I want that PMS 185, and I want to do the PMS 102, my red and yellow for this logo instead of the red and black. Again, PMS on screen printing, my price changes would be over here because it's an upcharge for matching PMS colors, but for embroidery, it's just a color relationship. The price did not change. It's just so you can match it. So again, you could put a Madeira thread chart or a Barrett thread charts on there and match it to that. I can try to check out. You'll see that we have a hold, don't go anywhere. You need to approve your artwork sign. So I actually have to view my proof. So our system, what it does that no other system currently does, it creates the production proof at time of order, not the day after between the supplier, yourself, and the client. The client's actually using the supplier's template line art and creating a proof at time of order so that nothing is holding up this order to go into production first thing in the morning or immediately from the time they place their order. So here we go. Here's the item we picked. Here's the colors we ordered. Here's the sizes we ordered. And then here are the quantities by sizes that we ordered. Here's the location we put on the left chest. Here's our little virtual. Here's my stitch out of that artwork. Here's the stitch count that we've priced it at. Here's my PMS color matches. I had put safety 2017 to show up above the logo and block uppercase. Now in the future, this virtual is going to actually show that text on there as well. We're working on that right now. That'll be out by next month as well. So I have my proof. This proof has to be approved and it's attached to the order as a PDF. This is then forwarded throughout the order processing in our back end. It will go out to your decorator along with the packing slip saying this is what the client has approved. But we're not done. That's just one logo, one location. And let's take this to, remember, we got to re-improve our system over anybody else's. I want to pick a second location. Try this on anybody else's website. I want to do the right chest this time. And I'm just going to upload a new logo. So I'm just going to click on choose a logo. And from my computer again. And this time I'm going to take a JPEG image, this Canon logo. And once again, it's going to take that JPEG image and stitch it out and convert it to a DST or an EMB file. Or if you want an AI file, EPS file. It does about 16 different file downloads that you can choose from for your production. But again, since we're doing embroidery, it's going to show that as a stitch out. And this does a little does a little work here. Now this will be sped up to under a second once it goes live. This is again in beta, but now you'll see magically that Canon logo is now put on the right chest. Show me another system in our industry that allows you to do multiple artwork on locations without going into a design studio. It's just simply choose the location. Choose your logo either from a library or upload it. And the client has their virtual. They aren't held back, they never leave the page. And again, I can approve that artwork and then add that to the cart. The fifth and final step in here is allowing the client, again, to take control of this order. This is what clients want. They want full control. Is when are they going to receive this item in time for their in-hands date? So I'm going to say I'm shipping it to the USA. Again, we set this up so it can be Canada, UK, Mexico. We can set up any way you want to do it. My zip code is going to be 92656. This is my zip code. My in-hands date, I'm going to put that out for the 10th of July. And then I have to calculate it. And it's real simple. What it's doing is it's calculating all the parameters. And you can see the pre-order process, I put it at 1 day. This is configured by you. The production time is actually configured by the decorators in this situation, or the factories that they're doing the decoration and shipping out the door on your behalf, like a Leeds or ETS Express or HIP Promo. Transit time is from the factory's doorstep to your client's doorstep. In this case, it's 4 days. And then we don't calculate the weekends, and you can see the event days in blue. So it's saying, obviously, that this is a 4-day delivery, so it's arriving the day of your event date. That's a little tight, so it says you may want to change either your production time or your transit time. It gives the client two options. So if I want to change my transit time, it's the next page when it shows me my UPS table and shows me all the rates for ground, 3-day, 2-day, 1 day. I can change it there. Or I can simply say, I want to do a 3-day rush, and you'll see now that goes automatically to green. You'll receive your order. It's showing that it'll arrive on the 4th, almost a week before your event date. And you'll see over here, because we did a 3-day rush, it will put in that fee, whatever that fee is that you set up for your rush charges or your factories have set up for the rush charges. That is our complete online ordering system for apparel. And as I said earlier, the value of this system is that the client can keep changing things and it will automatically recalculate based on the core pricing that you would put in from your decorators and from your suppliers on the blank apparel. And it will combine all those prices and give a true and accurate quote throughout the system. Now, I said earlier that we have the ability to do a stitch count when somebody uploads a logo. So let me show you simply how that works. Let me go to a simple, this is just a beta module showing people how it works. So in this system, now this is going to show it on a ball cap, but it's the same technology and we're just putting the back end engine into our system. So I have a ball cap. As you can see, it's a 380-degree image. I can add an image. So your client's going to upload your image. You're going to go to my computer, and I'm just going to grab the NFL logo. It's going to upload the logo, stitch it out, and place it on the product. Again, we did not have a studio on ours, so it won't show the studio like this. It's going to put the logo on the product, and it's going to tell you this is 6,000 stitches. It's as quickly and simple as that when anybody uploads a logo into our system. Other variations of the thing, let me show you how our websites actually look. Now that you've seen this side of the business, let's look at our websites and how we build our websites. Every website we build is mobile responsive, as you can see. My menus and everything. It doesn't matter if it's a cell phone, an iPad, or a full desktop. It looks beautiful, whatever we do. This one we did for Albrecht Performa platform. A different variation is one we did for my logo spot, which is Imagination Branding. And again, it's mobile responsive. If you want to, sorry, let me get rid of that page here. Let me just close that down so we don't have to see that every time. And we can go back in here, and on the mobile responsive, again, it looks beautiful on a mobile responsive throughout this whole platform. Promo Depot is another client, and again, you don't see any consistency through our platforms as we build them. We want everybody's website to be unique. It's not slap my logo on a template and I'm off to the market. When we build our websites, our standard turnaround time to build a simple website, just any website we build, is going to be 6 to 8 weeks, unless you have some complexity built into it, and then it could go a little bit longer. But like I said, every website we build is the reflection of what our clients want. You can see on this one, the filters are a little bit different than what we had before. I can click on a product, they have quick quotes, and built into this one, this is iPromo. You can see our 4-step process or 5-step process. We can show it any way you want to show it. The screen print, the price table is the same as laser engraved. They do not change the pricing based on the decoration method on this website. Where they changed the pricing tables was based on the capacity of these flash drives. So at 64 megabit, it's $5.27. If I went to 128 gigabytes, it goes up to $39.09, as you can see. And everywhere in between, you'll see this price will change 40 or 50 cents as you keep increasing your capacity on those flash drives. You'll notice that, again, as you saw on some other more popular sites like Branders and 4imprint, we include the slide bars. That comes standard in our platform as well. And then when I say standard, there's no upcharge for doing that as well. Step 3 is tell us where you want your artwork and the size. Now with this client, we've made it a little more polished versus the front versus the back on their sites. Now here is one of the customizations that we've done on their system. Because flash drives are a commodity item, they want us to be able to build in here options where they can make some money. So the first options is, do we do a preload of data? I can make 35 cents if I upload up to 100. Do I want a key ring attached? You can charge them for the key ring. Do I want a lanyard? We can do a custom lanyard. And you see everything I'm doing is changing the pricing here instantly. Do I want custom packaging for my item? And I got 3 options here. I got the casual, which is like a little vinyl pouch, a white box, a clamshell. I can step it up to a plastic snap case, a gift box, or a metal case. Or I can go full bore and pick a flip-top magnetic box lid, a display tin, or a wooden pill box. And as you can see, as I change around on all these choices, that price over here is changing instantly. Very fast systems. You can put your recommended items into our system. You can do your own descriptions. As you can see how they went to details on here. You can do your own specifications, your warranty systems. We build these websites to your specifications. You can have your chat boxes on here. All that comes with our platform. Another one, this is more towards the people who like to have more of a WordPress type look, and you could put your little hero page here, add in a store to the site, so your store is actually a link within the home page. Again, we don't care on our system. This is how our system will operate within it. So you can get an idea how our products look, and you just click down and you got a lot of, as you can see, it's very simple. If I just want to look at stemless glassware, I can get all the stemless glasswares in our system. You can see it's a very nice, clean look through our system on everything we do. Again, I try to wrap this up within my 30 minutes. This is the site that we're doing currently for SamArt. This is how their products displayed, and you saw that earlier when I showed you that demo. When I go to my products, it will display my products in whatever fashion I have that set up for. But thank you. Look forward to our next webinar. We will send off another announcement on that one. Again, that will also be 30 minutes. Please feel free to reach out to me directly for your personal questions for your own website and what we can do for you. Learn a little bit more about us. But again, I thank you for the time today, and have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.